Good evening. I'm William Ferguson. This is Common Sense. Boy, these last few days I've been keeping an eye on what's going on in the states as far as the midterm elections. And this is actually insanity if you watch the Democrats and what they're doing. And they actually have no policies, no nothing. Except that they hate Donald Trump. They want to impeach Donald Trump. They want to cause violence and all this. Well, I ran across a clip of a rapper. His name is P.I. And he made the most degrading, dishonoring, just absolutely filthy video that depicted Melania Trump doing a striptease in front of the desk in the Oval Office with T.I., a black man, smoking a cigar. Now, if it were a white man behind the desk and a black woman depicting Michelle Obama, the entire country would have burnt down. Because that's the way the liberals think. We can do it to you, but you can't do it to us. No. You don't do it to us. And then I heard the candidate running against DeSantis in Florida called Trump a sexist and a racist. Okay, after seeing that clip, no. The rapper T.I. is A, sexist, and B, a prejudice man. And that was prejudice. I don't care what you say. That was so sickening. So there was no respect in that whatsoever. And then I was listening, and Tucker Carlson was interviewing a Democrat, and he was head of part of his party in the state that he was working for. And being a Democrat, so he wrote in a Facebook page of his, "I stand for the flag and kneel at the cross," and got fired for it because he was told that is prejudice. How on earth that is prejudice, I have no idea. But then I don't think like Democrats. This election cycle is getting so intensely ridiculous, filthy, violent, evil. Downright evil. And that's the only single word I can use to explain what the Democrats are doing. It's evil. It is. I haven't heard a single policy from anybody. The only thing I've heard is impeach Trump. Now they want to reinvestigate Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh on the sexual abuse claims by Ford. And that would be a good policy, you think? I was listening to an interview with, it was a campaign ad. No, it wasn't. It was a report, I'm sorry, of one of the candidates running for governor of Florida. He wants to raise income tax to 40%. Why don't you just say you want to bankrupt Florida? You vote for me, we'll bankrupt just like that. They want to impose a single-payer healthcare system, program, whatever. And I watched a thing with Steven Crowder. He's from Canada. And he did some research on the way a single-payer healthcare system works. And he went to an emergency room and he said, I have an emergency. I need to get this taken care of. And he was told that it would take him 6 weeks, I believe it was, in order to see a doctor. Because all the doctors had quit. They weren't going to play that game, seeing patients and not getting paid. And that made me think, if the Democrats do take over at some time, and they do want to put into law a single-payer health insurance program, what will the doctors do? Will they say, no, I am not going to be a free doctor. You're not going to get free care from me. I'll go somewhere else. And it will destroy the entire health program, the entire healthcare system of the United States. And then there's a caravan. I believe there's 3,000 people in this caravan. And the Democrats, oh, come on in. We'll make the Republicans look like they're hateful and evil and they have no sympathy or empathy for anybody. Well, actually, we do. And we also have a loyalty to our country, in that we don't want to go spending our tax money on just anybody that wants to wander in, that could possibly be violent, or be running drugs, or whatever they may be doing. We don't want that. Canada has, federally, I guess you would call it, legalized marijuana. And so the whole world is going nuts. But the one good thing about this whole mess, it's in the Bible. It's going to happen. It was predicted and prophesied by John. The whole world's going to fall apart. And then what? Well, then the Son of God, Jesus, He shows up. And we leave. And the evil can have the world. All of it. And you can be as evil as you want. And if you want a perfect example of how evil the liberal Democrats are getting even now, look up the video by T.I. That shows how absolutely vulgar, hateful, prejudiced, sexist the left is getting. And it's a little at a time, a little bit here, a little bit here, and we'll get the people of America to become numb to it. They'll get used to it. It'll be okay. And we'll have them thinking they can do anything they want because we're already pushing it. We're pushing it hard as we can, that we can kill the babies and legalize drugs, and anybody who wants to come on in. Any violence, go ahead and get violent, especially if it's against a Republican or a Christian, especially the Christians, those Christian conservatives. And when I look at the paranoia, the absolute paranoia of the left, the liberals, it's insane. I'm surprised they haven't lost their collective minds. Because they have nothing except violence. Perhaps they think fear will cause the Republican to vote Democrat, liberal, or keep the Republican home. I say this: if you're a Republican and you don't vote, you're voting for you're voting for violence, basically, even though you're not voting. Somebody will vote against what you would vote for. violence, hatred, disrespect, dishonor, everything like that. And so, oh, excuse me. And so is that what you want? Is it really? Do you want your taxes to go up so that you have less money? As though the liberals are punishing you for backing Donald Trump, the president, in his tax cuts and forcing you to either pay for insurance or pay a fine? Do you want the promotion of violence in your cities, in your schools? Something else that was brought to my attention. There was a school somewhere that has a gender-neutral bathroom, and a little girl was sexually assaulted in this bathroom by a little boy. Really? Yeah. Because somewhere somebody decided, oh, it's okay to have both genders in the same bathroom. Nothing will happen. Right. No. It doesn't work that way. There are laws so that we don't hurt one another. And one of those laws is the little boys go where the little boys go, and the little girls go where the little girls go. We respect one another. Well, we're supposed to, but the liberals don't respect anything or anyone. They don't care. As long as they can take all the money with whatever excuse they can come up with, they're going to take it. They're going to control you. They will use any means to control you. Take your money. Well, if that doesn't control you, we use violence. And they're showing it. If the liberals can get away with saying, well, we listened to Dr. Ford and she said, Brett Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court Justice, he did it. He sexually molested me. He sexually assaulted me. And they believe it. What will they believe next? Somebody pointing at you, saying whatever, and you end up in prison, losing your job, losing your life, losing your family, your loved ones, just because a liberal points at you and says he did? Or do you want to stand for the flag and kneel at the cross and lose everything you have? Do you want to be a real human being? Or do you want to be a puppet, driven by fear, driven by having everything taken from you, driven by a liberal government that wants to just rule everything? And it's amazing, because President Trump has been hard on other countries. He hasn't been sending money to these countries. And when I think about that, why did Obama send that money to the Middle East? What was he doing? Was he paying them off, saying, look, we need some people to come over and be violent in our country so that we can get control of these free people. We need to take their freedom, and we need some violent people to come over there. So we'll pay you to come on over to America and take over violently. Not nicely, but violently. We want violence. Take over. Is that what Obama was doing? Who knows? But there are so many questions I have about Obama's terms in the White House. Eric Holder. What about that Fast and Furious gun running thing going on? and a Border Patrol agent getting shot and killed? What about Hillary Clinton and 4 people, including an ambassador, getting killed in Benghazi, Libya? What about covering up for Bill Clinton and all his sexual escapades, including rape? What has happened to the Democrat Party? Evil. That's exactly what has happened. Evil. Evil is taking over the Democrat Party. So what do you want to see in America? Do you want to see us living peacefully with as much money as we can make and keep in our pockets? Or do you want to see America violent, with the government telling you what to do, taking every dime that you have? What kind of America do you want? The election is in less than 3 weeks. Who are you going to vote for? I know who I'm voting for. I did my homework. And I'm not going to sit here complacent. Oh, somebody else can vote. I'll be all right. No. Do your responsible duty, which is also a right as a citizen of this country, and vote. And when you vote, think about, what America do you want? What America do you want? Do you want somebody that will kneel for the flag and spit on the cross? Or do you want people that will stand for the flag and kneel at the cross? To know that God is the Creator and Jesus, His Son, hung on a cross to save mankind from the evil that He does. Please pray for those who are the enemy of this country. There are many. There are many within this country that are the enemy of this country. Pray for the leadership of this country, that they will follow closely to God's Word and guide this country to safety, security, peace, prosperity, and unity, and that we keep our freedoms given to us by our Constitution. That's all I have for now. Please join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for Common Sense.